enough of the tape, Stephen. Thank you.
And I noticed it's at Jennings, Georgia, and it's Jennings, Missouri. It was GA.
So it's Jennings, Missouri. It's
Yeah.
Can I have Georgia? I was thinking of another case. Went down in Georgia. The guy was, his mother called me from Jennings, Georgia. Said, Mr. Wagner, you won't believe what the cops did to us. I said, yeah, I probably will.
Yep.
Probably will believe it.
Yep.
But unfortunately, the mother was killed before she could come out here to tell me. So I never got that story on tape.
Goodness.
And her son did nothing really, and I guess he's doing life in prison for something he could not have done. It was physically impossible for him to do. Okay, the tape's gone, Charles. You can open your eyes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but if we don't show it, Charles,
I understand
you know,
that.
people aren't
This
gonna
is
believe us.
not the image
I know you don't want to remember, and I don't blame you.
That's not my son. So
I don't
want
blame
to see
you.
that. And like I said, I have some scenarios and I have some things, a lot of things I want to say, but
Say them. Now's the
okay,
time, Charles.
here's the thing. I want people to understand this. We are here. First of all, we had to come all the way to California to get somebody to hear our plea. And I thank you, Mr. Wagner. I thank you for this outlet and letting us do this. We had to come all the way to California to tell our story because the St. Louis media, because of the political connections or whatever Jennings has, no one wants to take it. I had a reporter that started off on it, was gung-ho. They jumped off. I had two lawyers that were gung-ho on this. They were going to do everything. They jumped off in a heartbeat. Don't know what's going on in Jennings, why they have so much power. I don't understand, but this has been going on for years. We are not here because we're trying to seek out money. If there is money available to educate his children, we'll take it.
Yes.
We want it. We're not looking for a dime for ourselves. What we want is justice. We want this nonsense to stop. On a daily basis, there is somebody being killed, dismembered, or maimed by law enforcement or agencies thereof on a daily basis, 1 or 2 a day. If I gave you the statistics of what I found out, you would be shocked. But they are killing our children. Not only are they killing them, they're getting away with it. Period. They're getting away with it. Do not allow your child to get caught up in this system. Children that are listening to me, young men, young ladies, do not go out there, pay your traffic tickets. Do those things. Do not become a part of this system. When they take you, they handcuff you, put you in their car, and incarcerate you, you are in a whole new world. A whole new world, which you have no concept of. You don't want to be a part of. And unfortunately, some of you not going to come out of there alive, as I well know. And a lot of people going around talking about, well, it's not going to happen to me. It doesn't. That's just on TV. Well, one day I was sitting in my living room, and there was a knock on my door, and there were 2 St. Louis County detectives telling me that my son had died while being incarcerated by the police, a place that I thought my son would be safe. It's ironic. The people that have come to me, emailed me, and Facebooked me the stories, the pictures, the horrors on a daily basis, 2, 3, 4 a day of police injustice, brutality, nonsense, kids being shot without cause, provocation, and they're getting away with it. I would say that 99% of them are never charged, indicted, or anything. Who is this police state that we live in? Who are these people? Where are they getting them from? What are their mentality? I'm not saying all police officers are bad. I know that in the cases we need them. It would be anarchy out here without them. But that 10, 15% that are bad are rotten. They raping. They killing.
We had a woman in our county jail not far from here, Charles, was arrested for drunk driving and somehow got raped in our jail. Somehow.
Jeez.
And the punishment only thing I saw in the newspaper was that he had been relieved of duty for 3 days, suspended with pay. That sounds like he gets a paid vacation for raping a drunk woman.
Yeah.
That's an incentive.
And I'm thinking, something's real wrong with this picture here. Did I read this wrong in the newspaper? Did it really say he's suspended with pay? Or is this a misprint?
No, that's what they're doing.
And then I never heard another word about it. Everything was just covered up. And, you know, we just had an election for sheriff. I didn't vote for either one of them. One was named Bill Brown, the incumbent. I knew he'd win because he's the incumbent. The other one was Sandra Brown. One thing I was sure, no matter which way, the next sheriff's name was going to be Brown. And it could have been Leslie White against Bill White, but it would have been a White. I didn't vote this election because I don't feel we have any honest elections anymore. There's no accountability. And you remember yesterday I insisted on taking you to that room in the library?
Correct. On the judges, yes.
On the judges. What did I say about the judges?
They had a meet and greet. Not an election, a meet and greet.
A meet and greet. 7 judgeships up right here in this county of Santa Barbara, people, and nobody ran against any one of the 7. Nobody. What does that say to me? That says, you best not piss off the judge because nobody's going to run against him ever. And if you piss the judge off, he's going to make sure you work triple hard for your client and you still lose. So all the attorneys are going to kiss ass to the judges. They're not going to stand up for you, and they usually never do. Thomas Mesro and Susan Yu were an exception. Michael Mins out of Houston, Texas was an exception. He came to the 9th District, and he kicked the IRS ass and actually got the IRS attorneys disbarred on advice of the appellate court of the 9th District. But these 3 attorneys are exceptions. Really rare exceptions that prove the rule. You know, if you hire an attorney, don't pay him any money. If he can't win for you without you paying him a pile of money, he probably can't win for you at all because you don't want to. And I say that because I hired an attorney once when I was arrested while running for office 12 years ago. Just days before the election, I would have won. Smeared in the front newspaper. Wagener arrested. Investigation continues. 3 days like that. Then I never got to appear in front of Judge Anderley. They dragged me down to Santa Barbara, threw me in the drunk tank where people piss and vomit and defecate and nobody cleans it up. They never clean that. That's the same holding cell Michael Jackson was kept in unnecessarily hours after they had the bond money. They had his fingerprints, they had his mug shot, they had everything. They just wanted to sit in that filthy drunk tank and smell the vapors of the Santa Barbara County Jail. Yeah. I was in that same place, and it was just as dirty when I was there. Now, they didn't keep me there for the whole 2 days. I was less than 2 days, and I was out. But Judge Anderley ordered me released because they couldn't produce the electronic warrant they told me I was going to see later. Never did see it. I hired an attorney. He never saw it. So this isn't just St. Louis County, Missouri. This is Santa Barbara, right where we live. And this is the county where a woman's arrested and raped in our jail. This is the county they wanted to put Michael in jail again. After he showed up voluntarily from Nevada, came back voluntarily, put up the $3 million in cash within hours or less, and still, even though he came back, they insisted on putting handcuffs on him behind his back so that the photojournalists could get shots of Michael in handcuffs as he goes into the Santa Barbara jail. Now, wait a minute. Do you really have to put handcuffs on a man that flies a private jet back to turn himself in? I mean, this is just being cruel, and in this case, to this black man and this black woman, and also to Michael Jackson, and Catherine Jackson, and Joe Jackson, and Randy, and Tito, and Jermaine, and Marlon. God forgive me, I forgot one brother's name. Tito, Jermaine, but Tito, Randy. Jermaine, Marlon,
Randy,
Randy, and Jackie.
Right.
Jackie.
Right.
and his sisters. Not just the two famous ones, Janet Latoya, but there's another sister who
Yes.
stayed out of the limelight.
limelight. She has.
Completely. She wanted no part of it. This was unfair to the Jackson, and I noticed during the Jackson trial, we weren't allowed to talk to them in the courtroom. They threw me out for 3 days just for shaking hands with Tito. Didn't do an interview, just shook hands with Tito and Jackie. They threw me out. Anyway, I'm digressing, and this is about your case, not about Michael's. But isn't it interesting? You've got a man here who's not extremely wealthy, extremely rich, extremely well known around the world. His son gets killed, and they come up with these reports, and I trusted the body. I was reading it, it said Chapman. But on the top, I didn't look that close, it said Chatman. They show up at his house at what time, saying your son's already dead?
Between 10 and 10:15.
But here it says,
It says
11:20.
20.
So whether you're a rich black man or a poor black man, whether you're in St. Louis County, Missouri, and I'm not a bleeding heart liberal. I mean, I was in Vietnam with some black dudes. I would have liked to have strangled them. They were not nice people. One particular was from Philadelphia, and he finally went to an island in Japan because he had incurable VD, because he had a bad habit of going to the wrong whorehouses repeatedly.
Gosh.
I would have liked to have punched his brains out, but I couldn't do that. But it's not that I'm a bleeding heart liberal, but I don't think this kind of injustice should be tolerated
Right.
over and over. And that's why.
Right. I have a question.
Go ahead.
'cause I know we're
Go
running out
ahead.
of time.
We're going to run out of time. Go ahead. Focus on Pamela Wistrom.
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 That's right.
I said Wistrom.
Okay, that's all right.
If I didn't get it
That's
right.
all right. So what I don't understand is why are these people that are in power that are supposed to help protect and serve committing crimes? Like, how do they get away with it?
Because like
I just,
like I said, I took him to the room where they had a meet and greet of 7 judges, and then they weren't even answering our real questions. They rewrote our questions or didn't even read them.
but how do they get away with it?
Because the Bar
I just don't
Association,
understand
the
that.
Bar
Let
Association
me
has
say
subverted
this,
the system.
and it'll take all of this to where it's at. The system is broken.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
The system is broken. The system is about dollars and cents.
Not
It
about
used to
people.
be haves and have-nots. It used to be black and white. It's none of that.
Nope.
The system is broken. These people, they want these corrupt people. The thing you got to understand about this and this corruption is that they are building prisons, and prisons are no more run by the state. They're privatized. They must be filled. For these people to make money, they must put people in prison.
Yes.
They are suing a state because the state cannot keep the jail filled. So they're suing the state for the money. This is what's happening out there, people. If you look around there are no lack of prison cells for you. In I think it was 77, there were maybe 300,000 people in prison. And now, here it is, 2012, and there's like 2.6, 2.7 million. Come on, people. And most of them are minorities.
we have more people imprisoned in America now, people, than they had in the bad old Soviet Union. And I remember well in the 60s and 70s, we used to brag, America's a land of the free, home of the brave. And that bad old Soviet Union, they got more people incarcerated in the Soviet Union than the whole rest of the world. Now the United States is the country that's got more people incarcerated than the whole rest of the world, including Russia, Uzbekistan, and all those other countries. We do, America. We have become the Soviet Union, little by little. And I think Charles is absolutely right. The system is broken on purpose, and it starts with the bar associations. They made it illegal, not unlawful, because the Constitution and the common law is still the law, according to the 7th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Starts with common law, and the last sentence ends with common law. And under common law, your son shouldn't have even had to pay those traffic tickets. Because under common law, according to Washington State Supreme Court Justice Tolson, I think it is, you can look it up in the Federal Registry, he ruled that you have an absolute right to drive on the public highway with no driver's license. Absolute. Absolute. Not even questionable. absolute, not even questionable.